Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Yes, I'm not in my studio right now, but we will be once we get on with the review. I promise. I just lost the intro to the video, so this is what we're doing right now. I want to go over a couple fragrances that really made a statement in my life growing up, and eventually gonna kind of get to what my favorite is at the end. So if you want to see that, just fast forward. But if you want to see my journey like through the favorite fragrances that I had growing up, there's just a couple of them, and they're still relevant because you see them at the rack stores today. So without talking too much, let's just jump into it. So this first fragrance was in 7th grade, 1997, giving my age away a little bit, right? I still remember this Christmas day. I remember getting like a purple Nike outfit. I remember kicking a football with my left foot. I'm right-footed and it flipped my toenail upside down. There's things I remember about that. And I also remember my Tommy Hilfiger OG, a very aromatic green, fresh, spicy fragrance with a unique combination of like tart cranberry, green apple, and fluffy, soft cotton. There's a cactus note in here. Not really sure what cactus smells like. I feel like it's probably like slightly bitter green. That's kind of what I think it probably smells like from the cactuses I've smelled. But I'm definitely getting a good dose of that fluffy cotton, tart, cranberry, green apple, citrus, aromatic combination. Performance, when I first got this thing, probably about 5 hours. Nowadays, it's a couple hours at best. I'm getting like 45 minutes, but that's only if I do like 6 or 7 sprays. If you spray away 20 sprays with this thing, you might get 3 hours. Still smells pretty similar to the original. Doesn't quite have the magic. Gave me nostalgia when I purchased this bottle, so it did that, but it's reformulated. So unfortunately, it's not as strong, but this was one of my next one didn't necessarily dethrone Tommy Hilfiger. However, it did make quite the name for itself. Polo Sport. Smelled this one for the first time in like 10th grade. It's very mint heavy. Slivers of like sweet citrus mint. A little bit of an aquatic salty thing going on. It's mostly fresh, a little sweet, mint heavy, woody, floral, kind of a seaweed, sea breeze aquatic. Excellent for the summertime, excellent for spring. However, again, reformulation. This thing used to kind of be a beast. It was like, if I remember correctly, 8+ hours. It lasted. Now, it's not. It's like a 3-hour fragrance. And the scent profile, I think this is a little bit more mint dominant and a little more synthetic, but it still will give the nostalgia if you're going after that. It's going to be super cheap. Performance isn't going to be that good. It's going to smell similar, not exactly the same, not the same magic, reformulated, unfortunately, blue atomizer instead of the chrome one, but Polo Sport, this was another one. So I don't have Aqua Deio. I don't have it. I have other fragrances that smell like it. Perry-Ellis 360 Red, Blue Touch by Frank Olivier. They smell just like it, and I have other ones that do too, so I don't really need it, but that was one of my favorite ones when I was, getting like 8th grade, 9th grade, I was around that area. That was my favorite then. I smelled it. It was magical. That citrus, marine, aquatic just blew my mind how fresh and just lovely it smelled to me. Unfortunately today, again, reformulated, doesn't last nearly as long, but it still, to me, kind of smells the same. I don't own it. Maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've smelled, it still is pretty close to what it was before. But Aqua Deio definitely was an OG for me. This next one actually did dethrone both of those fragrances, and this one stayed on top for a long time. Abercrombie Fierce, because this was kind of like my first step into, I feel like, a mature fragrance, because it still has some of the citrus aromatic qualities, but now you're getting into like kind of a floral, earthy, mossy kind of a feel. Still a little bit easygoing, a little bit youthful, but there's like sandalwood. There's like a creamy sandalwood and oak moss, lily of the valley, and rose. So you have those kind of things along with your aromatics and your freshes and your greens and citrus. So that's what's going on with this one. If you don't know what fierce is, where are you? I shouldn't even have to explain this one to you, but the performance on this one is so bad. At least on this one. On me, I'm getting like 30 minutes at the most on this thing. It's an eau de cologne concentration. It always has been. This thing never was a beast, but I don't remember it being this bad. If anybody can tell me that they have good performance on theirs, let me know. If you have bad performance, let me know. But yeah, mine is like terrible. So I recommend getting a clone. If you're going for Abercrombie Fierce DNA, just find a nice clone of it. So what is my favorite fragrance? People ask me all the time, what's your favorite fragrance? A lot of times, I used to think it was Bleu de Chanel, but now I'm not so confident on that. When somebody asks me, what is your favorite fragrance? The one that actually pops into my mind more often than not is Tarothi Blue, and actually, you know, like the Aventus DNA. These two DNAs, they are my favorite. The one that pops up more often is this one. If I'm going to tell somebody to buy a fragrance, that's probably the one that I'm going to recommend. But it doesn't have to be that one. It can be any of the Bulgari Tigar DNA, Rubroca, the Gentsense Terra Nova, very good one. Alexandria Perfumes has one. There's so many of them, and I just love that scent profile. Even when you start getting into like the John Lowe Immortal, that spicy, bitter citrus, semi-sweet, kind of a little bit like a champagne fizzy bubbly thing. I love that scent profile. So for now, this is the winner. Still not going to say it's like my absolute favorite, but man, this is the one that pops into my head. So hopefully this list is helpful. By the way, good performance on this one. I get 6 or 7 hours all the time. So hopefully this list was helpful for you guys. You do still see these fragrances, Polo Sport, Tommy. You still see them in Marshalls and stuff, even though they're old. But this was just kind of fun. And yeah, with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.